Next, I'm going to show you the opening here for your bobbin. So if you push down and pull forward, that is the cover for your bobbin. And now you can grab the actual bobbin itself and take it out. So here is the bobbin itself. I'm going to empty this out. And what we want to do is start with a fresh bobbin so that you can learn how to fill it. So now that I've emptied out my thread, I have a very empty bobbin. My next goal is to fill it. So in order to fill it, we have to take the thread completely out of our machine. So that's the reason why I show you that in a very simple way. You'll be threading and unthreading your machine constantly. Think about when you're changing color or also when you run out of your bobbin. So here's my empty bobbin and I'm just going to set it right here. That's my bobbin holder. So push down. My bobbin has a hole in the middle of it, and that is what allows me to be able to fit it on that bobbin holder. Now push the entire bobbin towards the right, and now it is connected to our gray latch. So now that I've unthreaded the machine, for the bobbin, I'm going to go to the top of our machine and there's a dial. So if I tilt the machine forward, right here, there is a dial. So this little dial or disc, I want to be able to put the thread under it and pull forward. That is for the bobbin only. So I'm coming from the back and I was under that, and make sure you pull so that's all the way through. So now I have my thread and it's around that dial, and that is for our bobbin. Next, I'm going to take the very end of our thread with my hand. So in my right hand, I have the very end of the thread, and on the bobbin itself, I am going to move behind the bobbin, and I'm going to wrap it around 2 or 3 times, and I'm just going to hold it. So I'll do that one more time from the back side, and that's really important that you understand you are coming from the back side of your bobbin. And now with my right hand, I'm wrapping it towards the right. That's a clockwise direction. Now I'm holding with the left side still, and I'm going to step on that foot pedal slowly. And I let go of my right hand. Now my bobbin is being filled. So now as I gently let go of the left hand, you can see the thread comes off from the spool of thread. It's connected here to this dial. I'll tilt that once again so you can really see. It has to be connected all the way underneath that dial here on the far left of our component. And then from the back to the front, you wrap it around that thread a little bit, hold it, and then step on the foot pedal and it'll catch. Once it catches, you let go. Then you just step on that foot pedal the entire rest of the way, and that's how you fill up your bobbin. So once your bobbin is full, it will stop turning, and then you let go of the foot pedal. And there we are. So now I have a full bobbin. I've stopped the actual foot pedal, and I'm just going to take my scissor and I'm going to cut. So now I'm separating the bobbin from the thread. Now I'm just going to push this top bobbin lever towards the left and lift up, and now I have filled my bobbin. So now we're going to set the bobbin into its place. So here I am setting the bobbin into place. So that's where the bobbin goes, and once again making sure that your bobbin is having the thread come off from the back. If you pulled, it would turn counterclockwise, so that's extremely important. So the thread is coming off from the back, and I'm going to set it down. Now there's a very tiny slot right towards the front, and it's very metal. So if I tilt, right here is that slot. You want to take your thread and put it through that slot and to the left. Okay, so the thread goes underneath that metal slot and to the left. And you can see there's a square opening. That's where you're going to allow your thread to rest, in that square opening. So I just want to make sure you can see that right there. Okay, so now that I have my bobbin filled and in place, I'm going to re-thread the entire machine. So as I re-thread the entire machine, I'm going to take it out. This thread comes out of that bobbin connector on the top, and it goes into our first component for our threading. So that's step one for this machine, is from back to front on the gray slot. Just want to make sure you got that. So we were here for the bobbin, we took that out. Now we are here in the slot from the back to the front. And then we're simply going to come straight forward, down, under the dial, and up. And we're looking for that hook. Once again, if you don't see that hook, I'm just going to turn the machine here. Then take your hand, and as you turn forward or back, it'll raise the hook up. So keep your eye here while your right hand is turning. So once the hook is in the highest position, you can let go of the wheel. Now you go around that hook. So from the right side of the hook to the left side. That's how you're able to engage the hook. So now that we have that in place, our next goal is to come down. And once again, left hand holds your thread about an inch away from, or 2 inches from the very, very end of our thread. Right hand holds the very end. Now you're gonna just take your right thumb, you're gonna put it above that little hook that's at the top of our thread, and keep my left hand holding so that the right hand can pull the thread and the thread doesn't loop. So that left hand just allows me to thread that little tiny hook without creating a loop. And as you pull gently, now the last thing to do is to hold your thread in your hand so that you just have about 1/2 inch left, and put that through the eye of the needle. Once again, if your presser foot is actually in the way, just push down on it. For this model, move it out of the way. And that will allow you to reach the needle a little bit more easily. So now that I have a little bit of my thread in the eye of the needle, I'm going to take my left hand and push the thread to the right side. So from the back of that needle, now I am able to hold that thread in place with the left hand, and I'm going to pull it gently with the right. So now my left hand is still just guiding the needle gently. So that thread went through the needle very nicely. There are no knots. That's the whole entire purpose. Make sure you have no looping around or knotting. Now I can just take my presser foot, line it back up right underneath our gray component, find the presser foot lever and lower, and now I have connected it into place. So I'm going to lift that presser foot lever, and now take my thread and put it through the slot of the presser foot and then the back of the machine. So now I have one last bit of information to tackle, and that is the thread for the bobbin. So I'm going to turn my machine slightly so you can see. So here on the left side, I'm holding the top thread with my left hand, and with my right hand, I'm going to turn this wheel till the needle goes. So keep your eye on the needle. It's going to go down all the way and come all the way back up. And then I'm going to pull, 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 pull. That's it. And as I pull, I'm going to see my needle comes up. My thread, comes up. So I'm going to get my scissor and slide. That's it. So now I can pull that bobbin thread, and we have it coming out of the throat plate. Now I can close this once again, and we have completed our setup.